Hello guys, welcome to this channel once more. Today we are bringing you another new video for you to view. Please feel free to comment and also like or dislike, and also we would like you to subscribe to this channel so that you continue being connected to us throughout our journey of the vlog in channel. Welcome and stay tuned. Yes, feeling suicidal and just a primary kid, you have to be sensitive about this. As primary kid feeling suicidal, writing a suicidal note is not something that you can joke around with. This is something very serious indeed that you are supposed to take serious. You can imagine this is a young child who has the thoughts of not living. This is a young child, as you know, young children, very innocent. You cane them. After caning them, they start laughing at you. After the pain is over, they're like laughing to you, they're like playing with you. You send them, they go. You ask for this, run for this, they go run for it and bring you the thing. So if this feeling and thoughts of having suicide come their way, then we have to act immediately. There is this child in primary school and writing a suicidal note to the mother. This is not something to joke around with. This is something to act so quickly. This is not something to joke around with. Yes, you realize that as a young child, a primary school child, that is in his or her early teens or in uh, below 10 years, that is a child, that is a baby, that is a child that is still very young. And as you know, and it is even written in the Bible, that sometimes if we are like children, we live happily. Young children are normally very happy people. They are like playing. You cane them. After caning them, you send them, they still run very fast and bring you something that you want very fast. So young kids are the best, and there is no time that you find them bored with life, whether they have not eaten. The moment they find food, immediately they find food put on the table, they eat, and they're like very active. So long as they have basics, they're always very happy children. Young children in their teens and below 10, they are not yet sensitive with life. They don't know much about life, and they depend on their parents or guardians or caretakers. So if you realize that such a child wants to commit suicide, then there is more. There is much more to explore from this child, so that you may be able to know what is disturbing this child. This is not something that you can take for granted. There is this child in primary school and is writing a suicidal note. Writing a suicidal note is not something to take for granted. This means there is much in the child's life to be explored. As a parent, you need to take action immediately. You yourself, you have to know how you are staying with this child and how you are interacting with the child and the life of this child, and feeding, shelter, just take care of all the basics of this child, and so that you know that the child is comfortable with all the basics, not even very comfortable, but at least he or she is able to get all the basics in life. Then engage this child to spiritual life, engage this child in the house, make the child busy playing, sometimes relaxing, sometimes you need to assign him or her with some little work to do in the house, like washing utensils, or even doing anything that can make the child active, or engage the child in several things that can make the child happy. Some play, make a recreational plays in your home so that the children may be able to have time to play. Check if you're overloading the child with a lot of work. Check if you have stress and you're extending it to the child. Check if you're not treating this child very well. Check if this child is having enough love. Check if the child maybe has got an issue, something that is missing in him or her. Check to know if at school the child is okay and the child is comfortable. Make an appointment with class teacher, make an appointment with the head teacher, make an appointment with all the caretakers in school and the teachers to know how the child gets in school, how the child fares on throughout the day, and how the child performs in class, and how the child interacts with others, plays with others, interacts with the juniors and even the senior. Know the child's problem immediately before anything more than that happens. Writing a suicidal note for a young child in primary school that is in his or her early teens and even below 10 years, that is something weird and not something to joke around with, not something to hesitate taking an action. You need to attach this child to a counselor who can have some therapies with this child, so that is he or she explores with the counselor will be able to explore the child will open up and know what is eating him or her up in his or her life, so that the child his or herself will be able again to know what to do. By being guided by the counselor, the child will be able to know how to sort out the issues that are making him or her think about suicide. Take action as a child. This is not something to look at and you say, hey, look at this baby. Is this baby normal? No, that is not something to joke around with. That is not something just to call the grandmother to talk to the child, just to talk to the child you're alone and all this. This is a child who is thinking more than he or she is supposed to think. So this is a child to be attached to a counselor to go through some therapies, and these therapies will help the child to solve the issues that he or she is going through. Stay tuned, subscribe to this channel, and don't leave your child to write suicidal notes or to commit suicide. Before he wrote this suicide note or she wrote, what could have gone into her mind? What could have gone into his or her mind? Something weird must have gone through the mind. So take quick action over this. Act fast, save a life. Subscribe.